Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News, the show that may or may not be 5 minutes. Today in the news, it's kind of all about Blizzard. So, yesterday, while researching news for today and looking up things, I noticed online, especially on Reddit and on Twitter and various forums, that people are starting to get pretty upset about Diablo 4 and the most recent 1.1 patch. Which basically, let me sum it up for you. Every single time Blizzard releases a new game, everyone's all excited for it. People by the millions begin to play it, and they're talking online about all their different builds and things they're doing and whatnot. And, of course, as always, people plow through the game. What ends up happening, of course, is that they plow through it so quickly that the discourse online becomes, there's nothing to do in the game. And so, eventually, a 0.1 patch comes out for whatever Blizzard game we're talking about, and in this case, Diablo 4, but in the past, it's been WoW or Overwatch or whatever, and that first patch is in some way designed to slow you from blowing through all the content. And in this case, what they did was just nerf all the classes and make the whole damn thing more of a grind, and people are not happy. They're review bombing it on Metacritic, they're all over the forums, pissed off. I mean, I've seen this before. It's old hat, it's what they do. It's their, okay, well, how do we stop people from saying there's no content? Well, we make it harder for them to complete all the content. They've been doing that forever. So it's while I was looking at that, thinking maybe we could do a story about that, I got a text message from a friend, not gonna say who was like, hey, some big news coming down the pipeline about Blizzard, esports, and firing/layoffs. Because it looks like in the run-up to this Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard, there are going to be some layoffs. And the first thing to go is some esports stuff, especially associated with the Overwatch League. As reported by The Verge yesterday, the company's esports department suffered layoffs impacting around 50 employees, which, according to one of those affected, seems like a significant gutting of Activision Blizzard esports. And these layoffs allegedly came as a complete surprise to former employees who had the perception that everything within that department was going well. However, based on the message I got, it appears there was maybe a meeting and then emails were just sent out to people that were like, we no longer require your services. And that was it. Shared one anonymous former employee. They may be able to keep a skeleton crew on to close out the Overwatch League and World Series of Warzone seasons in the next few months, but in my eyes, they're completely unequipped to internally support anything esports after that. And all of this, like I was saying, comes on the heels of the Microsoft Activision Blizzard acquisition, which is slightly delayed due to CMA stuff and working that out, and obviously a rough few years for the Overwatch League, between a loss of $400 million worth of franchise fees, Overwatch 2 and Hearthstone taken offline in China due to a failure to negotiate a licensing agreement with NetEase, and then of course the shutdown of the Chinese Overwatch League team Chengdu Hunters, on top of the current fan sentiment towards the game, which is not looking good. In their recent earnings report, Blizzard shared, according to the amended terms following the conclusion of the current Overwatch League season, the teams will vote on an updated operating agreement. If the teams do not vote to continue under an updated operating agreement, a termination fee of $6 million will be payable to each participating team, total fee of approximately $114 million. So yeah, on top of the already happening layoffs, the future of the Overwatch League is now in the owner's hands, and if it gives you any indication of where that league stands, I was online looking up stuff right before recording this, and most of the comments about this are literally along the lines of, I didn't even know the Overwatch League was still a thing. And I'll be honest, from my perspective, the Overwatch League has always been kind of a mess. They were supposed to have teams in their own cities by 2020, I think, and the viewership has just steadily declined, and the reception of Overwatch in general is kind of on the way out. No one's really into it anymore. They're moving to other games. Sure, still has an audience, still has people that play, and still has people that pay, and that's great for Blizzard, but overall, it is on the decline. So, I don't know. We may be looking at the end of the league. It is interesting to see that esports, which was such a big part of Blizzard and its identity, may be the thing that leaves and is forced out once they merge with Microsoft. Maybe Microsoft will want to create something new and they'll start over there. I have no clue. We will find out together. Anyway, that is it. Thank you so much for subscribing and liking and hitting the bell and doing all the YouTube things. It really, really helps this channel. And I'm so excited to see how we've grown. And I'm just like blown away. Thank you so much. Anyway, that's it for 5 Minute Gaming News. See y'all tomorrow.